Right, I totally agree. And let's go back to Ibadan. Good thing is it's not far away. Onigbinde joins us again on the show. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening.
Okay, fantastic. We have you on the show now. A lot of reactions, mixed reactions coming from this game that Nigeria lost to Egypt. We will not compete at next year's African Cup of Nations. How did you take that game?
Could you come again?
We're looking at a game between Nigeria and Egypt. We're getting mixed reactions from Nigeria. What's your take on that game?
Yeah. Well, as a Nigerian, I am sad that we lost that match and that we are out of the African Cup of Nations. So it's most unfortunate. And it becomes more painful when you appreciate the fact that Nigeria has a high potentiality of being the best in Africa. But it doesn't appear we are harnessing all the potentiality we have, the natural talent we have. So it's most unfortunate.
Okay, you're a coach, you understand football management. Where did the coaching crew get it wrong tonight?
Let me say one fact, with all modesty. I am not in the group of coaches who analyze football on television. You really have to be very close to the team and understand what the problems are before you can say categorically. I know Nigeria is a country where we appoint technicians, we appoint coaches based on their grammar on television. And I don't belong to that class. So, because from experience, in 1984 I had an experience. One of my players, I think it was Chibuzo, had blisters on his feet because he used a new set of boots. The following match, he could not play. And the Nigerian press started shouting tribalism because they didn't understand what happened. So you really have to be very close to understand what the issues are.
And that's what we're trying to do, understand some of the issues and see ways we can correct it. But let's talk about this team. If you were to handle this team that played the Pharaohs of Egypt, what will you do differently?
Well, that is hypothetical because circumstances might have been different. But let me say one thing, that we did not start losing this evening. We started losing decades ago by not putting in place a meaningful, functional developmental program for our football. For instance, I've always said that the nucleus of the national team should be home-based. Home-based if we have good developmental program at home. But because we don't have that. Now, let's see. We played the first match on Friday. The foreign-based players came into the team on Tuesday, 3 or 4 days before the match. That is not good enough for football. And for the past 50 years or more, I've been shouting for a meaningful developmental program for our football, but we don't have it. So I would personally feel that we'll be cheating the players and the coaches if we continue playing them when they lose a match like this. It's a systemic problem in Nigeria. And we just have to find a way out of it.
Yeah, we're getting there.
If we have a meaningful developmental program, what is the population of Gabon? 1.5. Equatorial Guinea, 500,000. If we are going to play against either of these countries, we'll be threatened. Why? If 1,000 players leave Nigeria, if we have a good program, we should be able to produce another 2,000. But we are not even identifying those that are around with a lot of respect and appreciation for those who play this evening. I am convinced, beyond all reasonable doubts, that they are not probably the best 23, the best 11 players Nigeria has as of today. There are a lot of fantastic talents wasting away in this country because there's no developmental program.
I like when you said it's a systemic problem, and that's what we're trying to do tonight. We're trying to find a way out of this systemic problem. And what role does administrators have to play?
Well, I am not their consultant. I'm not their technical advisor. And apart from that, I think I've made enough enemies talking about all these things. I've made so many enemies because I am talking. And I've gone through some difficult experiences as a result of my talking. Let us do it easy. Let's do it that way. For instance, in FIFA statutes, Article 2, objectives of organizing football, the opening sentence reads, to improve the game of football constantly, which means that is the sole aim. It was not by accident that it was made the first sentence. To improve the game of football. Are we improving the game of football in Nigeria? We are running competitions. Competitions are supposed to be used to assess the level of development. You are not developing, what are you assessing? It's like a teacher who is not teaching his pupils new things, setting up an examination. Isn't it ridiculous? That's what we are doing with our football. And the problem starts even from the NFF organization itself. The technical department has been reduced to virtually nothingness. Shaibu Amadu, I'm not speaking for anybody. Shaibu Amadu was appointed technical director about a year ago. I'm not sure he has a table in that office today. And it's the shuttling between Benin, Lagos, and Abuja. Which means the technical department has been reduced to nothingness. Then there is a big confusion, confusing the responsibilities of the technical department with that of the technical committee. The technical committee taking over the responsibilities of the technical department. We are doing things upside down. And that is why having said this now, people will start talking again tomorrow.
We will start talking right now on the program. Thank you so much, Onigbinde, for giving us your time. I will hope that we'll get out of this systemic problem and make football in Nigeria admirable again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it from our Super Eagles coach, Onigbinde. You listen to him, out of his head, he's giving you the FIFA articles and all of that. And he made very important points. I mean, we also said it on this show that when you bring in a coach and you say he's technical advisor, and then you have Amadou Shuaibu in that same technical role, so we'll say what's going on? Because now he said it clearly, we're mixing the technicalities on the field with that of the technical committee.
I mean, there are no clearly cut lines. People's roles are crossing into each other, and a lot of things. I think there should be an house cleaning. There should be an house cleaning if we are really interested in developing football. I've always believed that Nigeria, we've turned ourselves to a football country that is driven by competitions. We're not growing. You see, people can scream and shout. The painful aspect of this is not the fact that we did not qualify. Holland has not qualified for Euro 2009. They're playing England as we speak. They're moving on with life. They have a coach, they have a captain, everything is going on. There's a technical department. If the coach resigns today, it won't take them a week. They will appoint a coach, and they may even have reasons for appointing that coach. They have short-term and long-term plans. But what do? We use the performance of the national team to gloss over our problems. So now that we didn't qualify, it's not a problem. And I'm very sure some smart people somewhere will be thinking of a foreign coach right now. The coach can never solve your problem, even if he's winning. Can never solve your problem. If you do not develop football, you remain on the same state. And you know, I mean, I told the Super Eagles media officer this one day, and I said, look, anytime we're playing, stop telling us to play. Because it's annoying. I won't be playing against Niger. We're not going to be playing against Niger, and you're telling us to pray. Pray for what? Against Niger?
Wow, that's the level at which Nigerian football is at the moment. Won the AFCON in 2013, missed out of the next edition, and will miss out again next year. Not a good story for football fans. Let's listen to football fans in Nigeria. Now, what are they saying? Anthony Omata says, when was the last time we scored goals? That is the missing link. Let's think about it. When was the last time we scored goals? There used to be a time when if Nigeria is playing Chad, you won't watch. You'll just hear the scores on.
You ask for the result later.
And then you hear 5-1 or you hear 6-0. And that's a very important point. So we need to get a style.
Do you know, contrary to people's, I don't think the team performed badly. I mean, how long has Siasa been in charge? You've already seen a sprint on this team.
That's right.
So the problems there, apart from maybe one or two people that were played out of position in the defense, the problem of not having that creative force in the midfield, John Mikel Obi didn't do badly. The only big minus for me was Ahmed Musa. And to think that this was someone who was once the Super Eagles captain, we play a big game like this and you didn't show up. So we're not creating chances. The problem, those problems, so we need to go all around and look. That's the problem that we have. That's the missing link. Creative